through a critical stage where there are a lot of things that needs to be done. And Sana wet me across the path that I could remove to the final GDSU now. So there are a lot of legitimate questions you bet me Busa in and around the quality of players. I expect some bet me are dying or money more di. Edi ache we asia fana nyina starting from Elenumre to the main final Abakusi wo Emenek. Yedi come out here for ni ahwefo ni na hunu say the lack of Champions League say Kodiama a new winner as at this time of the competition, you know. Fancy any news. Now one particular thing bet me in favor of either Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain. Bet me edi amamu bia. Because Paris Saint-Germain NJ Champions League ni bida. Arsenal NJ Champions League ni bida. Itu omumi enu ni go afan. Ana Barcelona a ono na di Champions League no enum. Any Inter Milan na waje Champions League ni miensa. Eso faako. Itikawe Paris Saint-Germain ni Arsenal game na a battle of equals.
Yes.
Because omumi enu ni nyina no. This particular stage of the competition no baby so mutimi tra kodu animu a ne gie no ha wo mo. But there has been bittersweet stories attached to Paris Saint-Germain and their story with the UEFA Champions League. There is no way we can play the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League without the stories or the beautiful stories that are attached to such a competition. Fancy. The bittersweet stories we are talking about the UEFA Champions League with Arsenal and the Paris Saint-Germain a woman no ejina say Arsenal in their quest to become a team that is known to be very competitive in the history of the Champions League no this omutimi GBDC omonaso. Na jino mbegidesi omonaso no empempi na no omokwa quarter final round of 16. Yehu so omobo semi final ni bi no back to 2005 2006 after the semi final they went to the final and they lost to FC Barcelona. Yaba 2009 against Manchester United and yenyi ehunu de see Arsenal entimi an qualify to the next stage of the competition, especially in the semi final.
Yeah.
Then fast forward Oba say Mikel Arteta befa team no. There has been a lot of better moments for Arsenal, especially in the league and other cup competitions where they believe say omu project from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3 no and kedrum pempe so say e wasanka Arsenal etimi edu the semi-final or the final of the Champions League. But me no can say fancy the last two editions after nyoma mienu the first step of Arsenal moving to the quarterfinals of the Champions League and Mikel Arteta FC Bayern Munich ni need in frame. But this time around no wetimi try another hurdle akwakopiemu into the semi-final, meaning last season baby omuduru any this season no we take you one leap. PSG last season in the semi-finals of the Champions League ni omudi omufremu. But I feel we almost have remu to the semi-final, meaning consistency aye adwuma.
Yeah.
So consistency aye adwuma then there is a need to move to a different step when it comes to the Champions League, going to the final. It is this work is here and the two teams. No. The historical nature of the competition and these two teams. Bako, the last time I saw the format of the Champions League, the prelims, no, extended the number of teams after say Yugoslavia no, a French team energy the Champions League in the shape of Olympique Marseille, Basil Boli, Abedi Pele, Omo energy sa champions. That still remains the only Champions League title a room of French Krumo. Now the battle line has been drawn. A new format has been opened in the Champions League. You see the new probably Ababeka Champions League no matter day. As a beam, is it going to be the time again for French football to win the Champions League? It Luis and you can call a press conference about the English Premier League. Any teams so much more. Anyhow, they will need to prove everybody wrong about the French League. No, the first step in ye and Liverpool no, and Aston Villa no. We because we show we are Oko final.
Okay.
Final also there. One game, a two-legged affair. Is the last game and you could win or not. The last time so Luis Enrique a treble no you will call fast to do the treble. And coaches are aka competition we no coaches me no pe and let me the treble no Hansi Flick any Luis Enrique. So the experience of playing in the Champions League where they are solid. Omabo final ni bida. Bayern Munich na yede. Now one a coach Hansi Flick. Arsenal, the last time they eliminated Real Madrid, they were in the finals of the UEFA Champions League. In Munich, a new team is supposed to win it. The last 3 times a new team free England. Let's not forget that the Pope has its own issues and a lot of luck attached to it. But the new teams in the new teams in Nottingham Forest, Borussia Dortmund, and Chelsea.
Yes.
English teams say
101.3.
the opportunity is why they that is away from the clubs and their history and what they will be expecting from these histories to push them to go forward and qualify for the Champions League final. By coaches in anywhere. It's going to be a bittersweet moment for Mikel Arteta. Akoda we free la masse abe PMO France. Abubo PSG kakra. And then the 18 months he spent at PSG. But he's always proving himself to be one particular person that have gone through the ranks and come up to this stage to become a top coach. Already in the league format, Omashe Paris Saint-Germain by 2-0. Yebobo no way. Yebobo no England. We say so your first leg no England, your second leg no France. So the opportunity to also continue to prove himself. Say if as a player I could not become your superstar, I could not become the man. As a coach, maybe this time around, I don't know. Meku na me dia shekuru nim, me miaso den amana ye oya. Eho anodinam. Luis Enrique so betina se aka say he has faced a lot of, but now Michael be a story about the bag girl no. Nini issues na attach. And I believe football has also given Luis Enrique a chance, just like football has given Hansi Flick a chance to redeem himself. Because this is a coach after Barcelona no. Shebebi awakoko nyina. And common ye bibi including a World Cup exit at Morocco yi ni film. Otimi ko jina suru nyina na microphone kura no kasa na mun training munye se ekoria se na Morocco yi no. But we've seen him with the Spanish national team at the Nations League. But standard that you didn't Luis Enrique ni coach ni baby or the kodru no. I feel the perfect moment to continue to earn the respect which was lost at some point in time on the career mono. It will also will be or the bemaye. Now, with the possible lineups of these two teams, say Sadrak Betimia Boya, near key battles be a Messi Shekakara.
Because Obianim say Arsenal come without party.
Without party.
Yeah.
It's ene you won't come be Eddie from this particular aspect. Now, in this particular scenario, share the other screen you see. Donnarumma, Nuno Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, João Neves, Ousmane Dembele, Bakola, Kvaratskhelia, Ousmane Dembele.
Bakola honona question mark
Desire Doué.
Ono na report no che say oye favorite.
So betima started this particular game. Yeah. But this is an away game, so I'm expecting because share English games now makona ko boni nyina na against Liverpool ko bukwa away no Bakola na a starting game no. Aha, but mu bo fi na anakola na omo manage no.
Yeah.
Kakran omo person omo the pressure bia be dey. And sometimes away game you need your best to come from the bench. To deliver most of the time and get you the results. Liverpool ko ye bi o pari omo so ye bi wa. Because Desire do a bar game ni no obedani bibia. And against Aston Villa we saw what also happened. So you need to do that. But line up the amount Seko baby and Nuno Mendes war. Next Seko baby a Dembele war. Then you kwa Arsenal, you shadi bi kakra. Se ko the Arsenal team o mu de be si aka nyame adom and nwura Lewis Kelly, Kivio, Saliba, Timber, Raya Beda post me. Mikel Merino.
And so be free anymore ba.
Seko Mikel Merino de no. Nehe Declan Rice, nehe Martin Odegaard, nehe Leandro Trossard, nehe Bukayo Saka, nehe Martinelli. But baby abe Seko mame no, Seko Lewis Kelly, ne Seko Declan Rice, ne Seko Merino famame. The tia me ball Dembele, any Nuno Mendes ne say, the edi kan. Ye nyina eba kohwe game in terms of the movement of Ousmane Dembele up front for Paris Saint-Germain. Normally no, what Dembele does ne say because only na fa kunintino anytime he moves away. So we're a typical example of PSG ni Aston Villa. So PSG ni Aston Villa no obehwa Hebebia Dembele ababegina to link up play and connect with the players no, freeing up a lot of space behind him. PSG could exploit. Then there are other videos so Shadrack betimi aboya. You look at the movement now and there was a still picture be am Shadrack when Arsenal played Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal centre backs na did Dembele. So this was even against Liverpool or Anfield. Abra, they started the build up from the back, and you see where Dembele actually, Dembele in nam or Damaechi Kunate.
Yes.
Meboa.
Yeah.
Or da Kunate, Chiensheka, Krebi, within a few seconds, PSG street sip. About with 3-3-2. 3-3-2, that means 2 attackers in here or no. Any the rest. I don't know, not drop the Abba. Shebebi Obefilaba from the center forward role. I'm become Fifio just to initiate and help in possession and push the ball forward. Yes, and one was a mistake now center back ni Johnny Dinachia. So I took Rona Beja on Shebebi a Karascalia. Any desire to do it and a Bakula Koshe.
Your movements more.
It is Tokrona Bejan or Hono. A ho and they are going to exploit. Now he goes to the wings. Was out switching from the wings, no. I'm a right back in Hakimi. Abe occupy. Look at it. It is Arsenal players, no enemy Busau. Omudi mikatente man say omudi den anybody Osman Dembele because they will need to be very careful in making sure say omunko committee enko fast bia fambre omankasa ho na in the long run no issues enko fast spaces being beto to omachi ema the likes of Kvaratskhelia any desire do it or even Bako enko fa ball no enfa internet eneni ade Bako away from Dembele no dear no omuni Arsenal boy and me say the center backs the Gabriel Magalhaes mo mujina fa ko. They don't move because when you move here, they will commit. Aha! I love this. So, in a normal sense, PSG style in your man and nothing changes from their style and whatever they want to do. So, this is Arsenal. PSG try some possessive ball, no 1-2-1-2. But look at Arsenal center backs, no. Omujina Falcon. And fancy, none of them is making a move.
To me.
To follow. Even the attacker said the Beya Ebako Riasiano. Another issue will crop up and the sorry at the etiawom. Away from Dembele, young court player Bakwame Kase Monsason Sekubim, Nuno Mendes. Oni Bukayo Saka. Or check the first leg of the Paris Saint-Germain. Any Arsenal game now, Nuno Mendes are more attacking positions. Because on himself about more attacking positions are. And Sheya Bukayo Saka mo betia sinechi. I'm on a recovery, no. Obetimi abre. Already, we're winning the battle between only Mohamed Salah. Correct. Oba, you know, Wabeha Marcus Rashford, Modi ni Baba Bobi, Muye Dema Kakra.
Yeah.
Against Aston Villa. In the first leg, it was just a normal duty for Nuno Mendes. Even though she go crumple. But in the second leg, the performance is not dropping Kakra against the likes of Marcus Rashford. So now Nuno Mendes against Bukayo Saka, one big test at the mano. Bukayo Saka, inside, outside, crosses, everything was solid. It's where the first leg no Moshe, you know. Shebebi Nuno Mendes Jina. Abra PSG, away in possession, I tackle PSG. In a normal sense, when PSG is attacking a team like Arsenal, and come beam, then Nuno Mendes a bit more like a winger in this particular kind of role. But Shebebi Ojina, or you're careful. Bukayo Saka so na at the end of the day, Ogro Hona Boni Bedi Bukayo Saka ho. Nanenshia wasubeshi. Okay. Ufisa battle na. Mary Declan Rice. And Nobebo as 6. And Nobebo as 8. Parteniho. The moment there is party, then the role of Lewis Kelly. Ebe boa Declan Rice in the number 8 role. The entire makers assembly say, okay, thank you very much for this video. Shadia Bika cannot post any hamame. Now, in this instance, Arsenal are in possession. This was against Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Obian himself, Lewis Kelly, inverted. The moment Lewis Kelly inverts and there's Thomas Partey, that means we will ball with the double pivot. That means Arsenal will go with the 3-2-3-2. 2 up front, 3 wingers, then over by 50, another 2 midfielders. No more Mojuma. It's in this case, no one say Partey Lewis Kelly na the double pivot to Arsenal. Where is Declan Rice in the number 8 position? But there is no Thomas Partey today. It's your boss and why never Patero Nama Louis Kelly I inverted. Now why and about 8 because you also about 8 against Real Madrid FIA. Both legs. We saw Declan Rice to be the best player on the pitch at the end, both legs on a J man of the match. So the energy and everything you offers Arsenal in the middle of the park are very key in this aspect. My fancy. Then what about Marino? Or man to me, I'm warm who and Takuni said your city hard now as was Sheba. But I believe the first leg, Arsenal were the missiles. Arsenal were a tactically a good manager in the shape of Mikel Arteta. I will see another good game, maybe a game of tactics. But I don't think Arsenal able to game no fear. Arsenal will either win the game or they will draw. If Paris Saint-Germain will even qualify, and yet the Emirates and Paris Saint-Germain will be able to qualify. They will have to go to their French Mufio, Parc des Princes, and now but they have the quality to match Arsenal. But Arsenal lose game we will that is where I will draw the line. Say it will be very difficult. So double chance for Arsenal in this particular encounter.
Well, may I say new?
Yo, Babia said Messiah see Emma Heat in the Champions League. Me drop it, even though you have other top stories. But I think Messiah Bobo certain key facets of that game. I can say. To us if you are Abraham change the interest of Ancelotti Brazil need deku in 7 year old 7 year old fan to wanna mention the dynamics of that particular game. Number one, Luis Enrique press conference highlighting the fact that first leg G2 say Arsenal a defeat more, but there has been an improvement over the two different teams or not at the ball Arsenal no. So I was asking, say, improvement on which areas of Luis Enrique the team PSG? Because social team no more changes be brain by team no more. The ball first leg now, and I said the first game I can was 2-0 first half Arsenal had 2 goals, and changing be brain. If enka bia ashefo benya the fortune of watching it national benya I want to analyze the two lineups based on Luis Enrique the press conference as small kind said there's been an improvement on the two teams or the first one he lost and then the second one changes in terms of personnel and change bebre osha lineup where there and now you about 95% say two teams in the better. Goalkeepers in Raya, Donnarumma the better. Hakim Lewis Skelia, AKOMEAH the team by name. I mean the same place here. Now check the first game 2-0 no. Almost the same place. Saliba, Timber, Mo Gabriel, Calafiori, Arsenal, Squad North, Thomas Partey, Martinelli. Now looking at all these, the manager they catch and say this second squad I will share the first one or the Baba bought and then you know. Omuna G Liguano. Oh, your squad pepe. The same place. Suspension na Thomas Partey in every game no. Bukayo Saka so era social but almost the 4-3-3 near day. But I'll be telling you about 8 different codes of Luis Enrique on and off the ball. Okrabo ni onkrabo ni su. Any kwan Arsenal fast so qualified to Real Madrid. One Arsenal G2 mu say. Omanya very positive score line. And the team omo ofie 3-0. Now that game became a very situational because situation BSC and to the be dependent on the sea or Emirates, the sea, you shall 3 goals. Why we opening up so much? Now, me per se, Shadrach me started by AKOMEAH community, between Hakim Ashraf and Nuno Mendes. A drew baby a ball gamer. Now, coaches, technical preparation or more. Yeah, one coach may raise the point say Hakim and Nuno. Why now, man, in him? Obibeka say Hakim, Obibeka say no. Obiabe defending the make technical no way. I mean no way. At this stage of the Champions League, and it hasn't happened per the precedences and AKOMEAH catch no. Nuno doesn't offend. Even though the profile now has been built around 60% offensive. But because of physical attributes, be ultimately defended better saying Hakimi. And of course, in the final third, Hakimi is better saying no. There's been about 8 different codes of Luis Enrique. Every time my man Shadrach video said, but me break it, this is it. So on starting her, it has been Luis Enrique in a typical 4-3-3 with a midfield trio where you kind of say lone pivot. Now lone pivot three Vitinha, Roos, now the Neves at top, hybrid 10, hybrid number 8. No one Bakola, Raselia, Ousmane Dembele. Only say that I kind of default. On or off the ball, but me a shape way be as I said the roles, functionality, the system, how it varies within every zone now of the field. system we best so you're starting at number 1 maka 80 different codes actually ukrabo ni ukrabo he for no binyina how the system changes every single time you Enrique coach our ejuma I am a 4 different coaches in the room 2 every Spain you Enrique number 1 3-2-5 fluid you know 3-2-5 fluid you know 3 na watch no beka no Mendes na AKOMEAH catch on jersey number 25. Now at this point you have 5 attackers. 5 attackers, you know, are the combination of 2 wide players and 3 central players. 3 central players, you know, are devoid of a center number 9 until your top or 7, you know, or a Quara and a share number 7 jersey, you know. Right and then left of Quara, and the reverse, you know, the back and side the flanks, you know, a Roos. And then Ousmane Dembele. And you're pushing Hakimi. And now opposite Bakola as a new winger. Naturally, the opposite number is Nuno Mendes, but also no 25 for Waka. Yeah. Giving the new shape of a back three. But Omanimu Peno, that's also about Benya, Vitinha, and the Neves. Omo so pachu, and Macqueen so. Omonko, a friend magical box. Omonko, because you have 2 wider players, 3 central. Shadrach and Sankonim. This situation means every time the 4-3-3 will continue to change, it would also give you the magic box. 3 back in the Obenya, but it would also give you a magic box. Every time Luis Enrique is building a system and one lot of variations, you can have the diamond where it comprises of 4-man midfielders. Money Dembele drop it about the social to send number 10. It will be a sense in the Edgemano. And son of Aston Villa, Lee can in South Korea player no to me Edgemano. And then at the base of that diamond shape, Ubenya Vitinha. But shape here make catch you now without the ball. Yeah, but mention what be Arsenal for the Madrid for the Embra shape here. We show TV national. Okay. I don't want Luis Enrique to commit too much. The 3-6-2 system now Yajuma Oko check it to be a Shadrach Bemede. Before the triangles, watch what you have on your screen. So Mikel Arteta da Luis Enrique boko. Now jab on Luis Enrique. This would obviously be Luis Enrique shape. If you love the ball, you have it.
Yes, in Tokro them.
It's because almost it's deep mama. Until Luis Enrique best switch to a back three with a goalkeeper instead of a back three with Nuno Mendes, you know. Because they are keeping the ball too much, the goalkeeper to push more men forward. Nuno Mendes and the Hakimi will become a wider midfielders. Now all the above can 4 now when you know. Not Thomas particular mobile be. All the side 4 Roos, Vitinha, Neves, Dembele Babe social side. Who are you dominating? Number 1, Arsenal Nadia to me said, Name no Mabe Boni Finfi. Arsenal will do something. Shadrach me and call quickly. Now on Posso PSG and Arsenal, then I do Madrid. If you want to keep the ball against Arsenal, keep it. If you want to keep the ball, keep it. Before this, Shadrach me and Arsenal, then I do Madrid. No, a team that loves to keep the ball. Arsenal will love to keep the spaces. But once you keep the ball in a concept of a high line. It will all paper hold it here. Hold it back. In about seconds. Okay, check it to a show 2 different heat maps and a wall screen. So that show one sat in fast the blue no. Arsenal foreign call many. They sat deep against Real Madrid. When nobody came with the bar by be a dream. And they come up against a team on also by the crowd board. So maybe Busame Jose, me Mikel Arteta, maybe him any PSG about paper England, or I'll focus on direct game and give them the ball. Whilst without the ball, my system and concept, and I didn't try against Real Madrid. So why are you going for possession even without your best passer? Ask the team that only you put in ball passing, they'll be missing that guy tonight. You can see I'm passing. The basic concept of football is passing. Nippon in pass or Arsenal and Obobi. Why would you want to keep the ball? Number 2, AKOMEAH Busa will say, Obama Mikel Merino call offense. No Declan Rice has stay deep as the new party. Or Mikel Merino be stay. Not Declan no calling him because only those 2 goals on the HM. I want over 2 damn say. But watch this, and share the Arsenal for the day. Shadrach will play the Arsenal for the day. They'll be giving PSG the ball. One, their shape will always force PSG to go direct or lose the ball midway. And I am telling you, this is what's called the active 6s and wingers. When the ball no contain back to square, square no comprising of 2 DMs and 2 wingers. When the ball no left here, about to square. Whatever you do, so you go for a long ball, call for a long ball, and keep an about ball. Give the ball to PSG. I love this from Mikel Arteta against Madrid, and I am not going for possession. Look, hold it here. Hold it here. On square in the hold. Yeah. A friend active 6-6 and then wingers. 6-4-2, Beko saw wingers 2, near a form of 4. Born in Chamu area. Opa Masafa one embrace, a square no so Thomas Pate or hobby. Martino di Garso Cososo. A Masafa Mrasia.
So, baby, I the born could be a rectangular form B, square B.
Every time I to 2 active 6s and 2 wingers our home, so square. No hit to border cost, not David Raya Barbecue. So why would I
be a no 190?
Masa? And in a typical 4-4-2, 2 strikers in the war, 4-4-2, 2 central, 2 out wide. I wouldn't go for possession against PSG now. Give them the ball. Give them. Give me the other video. The same as Nana. Give me the other part too. Aside this, give me the other part too. You can conclude say PSG Mumbeja Bonnet Yama Arsenal or Obama Arsenal about possession. But without Thomas Partey, the confusion. Look at this. Arsenal for the Kokoro. If you want to penetrate.
So only City.
Yes.
Where you box me one logo lie.
Hey. Now pass the ball about I can have so many never see a bass on a chance. Let's go Madrid.
Jericho first.
So you are always about to go in a turnover.
Crowd baby I saw the ball around.
Yes.
There's a winner crime.
So Mimi Busa without Thomas Partey, why would I go for possession? Mikel Merino has been used as a link-up striker, as an offense. It remember na cut up war, me man deep. It is a Declan Rice, the new Thomas Partey dia. Yo, let's just say Arsenal best deep, even though mu bofi. Na Arsenal for mo function with him na men kase mo enchire mo. So ball na cost 90 minutes. Na mo mobo afa, ma mo hadwen, ma mo di coach na tem. Mo calm down, na mo support no because game no, many AKOMEAH ya adwene. Ebe we all Paris. Mikel would only have one problem. Get results tonight or Emirates before you go there.
Okay.
When your results were Mikel obey you free mo. And then because I cut to
and then I was also
and then PSG go. Yeah, PSG go.
Hey.
Yeah, PSG go. I mean
it's not a surprise because PSG was 18 game streak scoring away from home.
Go, yeah.
Go there PSG will be. So I was say Arsenal no nya result.
2B.
As in winner now.
Yes, on your 2-1 be a oh, say me ni mo bebre o.
Go say Arsenal.
Washa back o si wo so Paris.
And the France all there. But Arsenal so called Benabel on did the whole.
Now the 0-0 kwa back defend there. Oko defend because he had 3 goals. Nti say no nya 3 dia. Na 3 no benya wa bra. PSG nya goal.
By now Arsenal to me share 3 against PSG.
I doubt. Omo tricks against Madrid, no. The season so far, no man didn't nye bebre sa. Now Madrid by culture and by heritage, ain't defend it. They had to naturally keep the ball. Now Arsenal do be enforced with some more ball effect, and they did that against Real Madrid. Got results against PSG. Ubimu also otetekura. Ode fidie no di kan to no be yin fa no a okofa fofra ba eyo ya sin bibia
o be yin nam no
eyo ya sin bibia eso mutum no mabie onya one e will force PSG to open up more e bia na the second goal 1-1 na e record 2-1. I'm hanging around 2-1 for Arsenal tonight. I'm hanging around 2-1.
Okay,
now set pieces in a day.
PSG for last watch.
No set
PSG for no. Goals on some accounts the corners and then more
38%
from corners and how
it makes it and now any power only the best midfielder no more tricks by around set pieces no
be utilizing
set pieces so what are they Dortmund the any Barca na adwuma Inter buying set pieces adwuma wo okay even now no the bad domestic leagues are bobo kra no they've been set pieces at Barca Celta Vigo mu nyina asisi yeah set pieces there. It is difficult way of getting a goal, but I said 2 months so no worry has it a one time.
Okay. Well, new.
Sina ba ko be free mu na me yakakra.
Send the idea.
Say Italian.
Me no so kuru an mu kwa na.
E be di pani.
Nti was about coffee. Mike.
Fancy, me that say an interesting Champions League game baso and then you remember the Arsenal Stadium and a lot of insight provided by Newton AKOMEAH. But I also think that the Champions League, the platform where just as coaches, players, and our managers, players, the same applies to more clubs be anymore or more running clubs. So if you mention the successes of Real Madrid, especially in recent times, Edi Bakun Obesanso Abakun say, or ye chiefly responsible for team Ninkunim Diene Perez and Ameboa.
Yeah.
Good. Perez by he's taking a lot of decisions. Here Perez 1, Perez 2 to transform Madrid. Time of fire in the 90s in the Dubai, they had gone on a certain drought. No Monje Champions League maybe. They were able to win again and then they dominated for a period. Then Perez 2 brought them the La Decima and Atwaswa de Besinde. So again, it's a competition that also crowns the top hierarchy and the Muju Medie ewo football. We can speak same of the late Silvio Berlusconi, Mr. Bonga, former Italian Prime Minister, also with AC Milan. Obefe AC Milan in a team na from Kregu. But he will be able to reject some 1 or 2 things and then Obeke Kanyoma Bomwa, Obe Peja Milan Bion, and then they will also crown themselves in glory as regards the UEFA Champions League. Then Berlusconi spell na betwaswa. You see, you have certain coaches who play a part, including Fabio Capello, more anyway. Then Ancelotti mo era subeba. They will win with him. Bani a Champions League biani edi hunkoma. A din way Berlusconi during that time it was very prominent because of the role he played. Chelsea, any Roman Abramovich. Roman Abefa team no. And the team say he was fueling a certain drive. Abramovich was a de facto sporting director for Chelsea. Chelsea had directors in Peter Kenyon and Womombe to Aswaba. But Abramovich no. Or not to me, just a player way of Bebwa, including Andrei Shevchenko. He was very influential in that order. So at the top hierarchy, Chelsea's Champions League success, Omoje for the first time. Why no money in the pitch to celebrate here? It was this man. Our Allianz Arena.
Yeah.
No money in the pitch in this way. Omoje money is celebrating. What's that?
Leicester for
you get to Kumbichai. So clearly you can see that football success, especially in the Champions League, it comes with a certain angle. Players benyo omodie, managers benyo omodie, then the top hierarchy, or more running clubs and no more clubs near omodiano, almost benyo omodie. So a iconic moment for BR. And that is why everybody aspires to get to that platform where you hold the trophy with the 2 big years. Now, PSG's quest to conquer Europe, it did not start now. Qatar for Nebetoye, early 2010s, in 2011, number 5. They came with Nasser Al-Khelaifi. Khelaifi ain't European. He's a Qatari or Asiani. On 3 Europe as Asisu baby. So for a foreigner to enter into a territory dominated by the Europeans and then make that audacious move, conquer France and Europe. So start. PSG has affected every single team across Europe. They've ruffled your feathers before. Team Kessie also were Europe biano or Masheku Kakra. AC Milan, Omuko 2 Thiago Silva, Ibrahimovic. Barcelona there, Omodia they say, oh, Yenim Neymar, normally Messi, the icing on the cake. Anameboa. Every top team be our talented Pia Bebiano, or my betty de home, and Oma cause confusion.
I am Marquinhos crowns from my Roma.
Marquinhos your Roma.
Yeah.
Then David Luiz, Chelsea, Monet, Edison Cavani, Napoli. Me say team be obey you where you be on the team. And it is fueled by the KSI, the Qatari Sports Investment, with your new DNM in Nasser Al-Khelaifi. Gradually, PSG has grown to be a French Ligue 1 dominant side. Omagia. Ebi mu na omagia every room krakra. Te say Olivier Giroud in Toulouse no, Eden Hazard in Lille. You have Mbappe Monaco mo. Omodidi di mu kakra, but they have won the most titles since. Ayomu fuel to conquer Europe and a problem. But this man again has worked himself behind the scenes to rise there. When in football konimo, if not for the PSG project, konye footballer. This guy is a typical tennis player. He played professional tennis. Oh yeah. Helka Lifey, okay, in the picture he was a professional tennis player. Qatar, almost Davis Cup sports team. Yeah, Davis Cup, almost sports team. He was part. Yep. So making that branch from tennis to football and then coming to dominate because tennis is not there. Asia, almost tennis federation, no, he's the vice president also. He's the president of the Qatari Tennis Association also. And today they tennis, but whatever football in him, and he's now occupying top positions in football and taking crucial decisions in football administration. Oko France, being sports no more sponsor French Ligue 1 in terms of broadcast rights. No, on one is so he manipulates in terms of what PSG will do, and also Ligue 1 no, he will manipulate in a certain manner. In Europe, we did called the European Clubs Association, which has over 700 members. Top. Baby Anka Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Franz Beckenbauer Motina, David Gale Motina say because we are the royalties of the game. No, he is now the president of the European Club Association.
CA.
Qatari, obi of free Qatar. And I obey Europe for so. Good. Then Perez Mujai. Laporta Mujai. No, me yes or more yeden. Omo kwati UEFA Super League. Again, wage name check the clubs who were opposed to the UEFA Super League. Omo bok tugui. Then he connived with the UEFA. He see any UEFA carbon. Then they have brought on board a new Champions League format and mirror what the Super League proponents, they're not accommodable.
Very powerful.
So he has become a divisive but powerful character in European football now. And about the Champions League, if you are influential and you have power, it also fuels your drive. And Pempinani account Champions League, no movie my way. The famous controversial of Rebel, Hernan of Rebel, with Chelsea and Barcelona. Those episodes, Chelsea Philly said they were hard done by. You favor Barcelona in certain decision making. But seen there, even with the introduction of technology, people make solid reasons or cases. Say, refereeing decisions be or why favor teams I can say any be. DNT is the power. Atikwenya na nsia no moye proposal akoma UEFA for ne say kwai omo fa so a Julian Alvarez penalty no manje ndinti
double kick.
Exactly the point. So they make kwakosia ne say football no etra they born in 90 minutes were pitch ne so no and you won't come up here behind the scenes. It majorly influences what happens on the field of play, and you will need the powerful people at the table to influence that.
No, say I was saying Arsenal you're careful with referee Slavko Vincic.
Me say, and then whatever happens, decision making, anything because of technology, I see but I still think, to some extent, there is a certain level of influence. And send your PSG near Siabre. Such in try a PSG Champions League, no. Fancy, they will go all out. If it means influencing, they will. Man City, anyhow, they went all out to conquer. And then once some abandon say, see a TB Kafa, Hena, 100 and something charges. Meboa. If these people want something, they go all out for it. So I think the PSG pursuit of a Champions League title, it does not go to just the players on the pitch and the manager. It will go beyond that. And I think when it comes to powerful people being at play, they will influence the outcome to help the cause and help them achieve whatever agenda they want. Then World Cup host here. And yet the issues be brede ba FIFA no. Se Blatter dey na man koi. if these people want something, they know how to go all out and get it. And so I don't see this just as a football match. I think the power play will influence the outcome to some extent. But to the game proper, I think, sir, the two teams mirror or more coaches, send or my bra bonnet, send your musuni city. Enrique Odings are a very principled man. Good. Now, Luis Enrique, time or Bobasa, ne final year of Basa, I think it was around 33, 34 years. No pre-prapa, but he was good. So what Basa wanted to do was that, me amount 2 years been there to us over my no say that be. So Jitum so beba my Basa or di my bro, because one, the physical condition in them one, and senior no see holding himself to a higher standard. He will be very disappointed if he signs a contract extension and continues to play a brand performance. Exactly. So Enrique, one of the few players who bowed out gracefully. Time ojai bono, na bono ni mbobat e pra and a ninya. So he could not play consistently. Principled person. Again, Spain national team. I think he resigned from the Spanish national team. Maybe 2002, oh baby. Good. Obeja, say a certain young crop of Spanish players say they need to be given an opportunity at only expense because on one China the time they. So he wants to allow Spain to introduce young players. Send a player or no concentrate on the national team, the club football. What does this say? A well-principled person. Again, or any team now, it is based on certain principles. Seme pena wonya mami I need to know better na bench. Exactly. So the inclination I get and say game na ye bekom no. Enrique ense sanyoma bebresa enye according to the principles. Jame kan what ya say. Send you see who na brabo ne ne nyoma city no. On the same because he believes in that. And I had on my and normally are turning around the tables. Amende or more form, they are consistent in Europe. Anameboa. So will he change it just for us now? He wouldn't. Obeka, he's a principled person. Sending a lifestyle city, sa no the baby team and sa no the approaching matches. Ateta, a little background. Barcelona B team. Amfa when your senior team and bo. And your mammy family team pem kakra. Obeko France. Kobone kakra. But ni carry no do na kesiye na no. England ne bekoso. Beba Everton. Beba Arsenal. Manchester City ne mukakra. What happened? He experienced diverse or different environments. So he adapted to different environments and situations. Say na to me dane ko ha. Say na to me call France. Never say me yes and sana metimi abo PSG no. Me ba England never say me sua English ka ho na metimi abo atena Premier League name whatever Everton. Me call Arsenal no never say me say some adwen sana yesi bobo no Everton is different. So the adaptability and in the team ne say. So check Newton e can say Arsenal team no mutimi adan.
My box baby.
Exactly. Omoye strong-willed, omoye resilient, but most importantly, they adapt to game situations.
See, and found the opponent in the beba.
Arsenal will adapt. Arsenal team no, they can play typical low block or they for possession, but they will still thrive. And you know, moko fast set pieces need to be remuya. Then they can dominate possession and control the game and still attack you.
Yeah.
Until they can play beautifully and they can play dirty. And the Arsenal team ni young. Two teams in there, technically they are brilliant. Almost say, but now PSG, but Arsenal beats me up, Bobby. I won't lie.
Yeah.
But Arsenal's other strength, the PSG, which is their adaptability. PSG only thrives in controlling situations. Baby omu control, so they love control. Arsenal, they are the best of both worlds. They love control and chaos. PSG, they suffer in a chaotic situation against Aston Villa in the second leg. A woman's amount for Beckham or Nana game, no, or match taking lead, they win. No, they panicked in a chaotic situation. And that is typical English football. Typical English environment. Why neighbor home can bus were the Arsenal Stadium. Check it, send the Arsenal for 1 year in the game against Real Madrid. They knew the occasion that was at hand and they knew what they had to do. So Arsenal's adaptability and the ability to thrive in both chaos and then control, no, it makes them the favorite in this game against Paris Saint-Germain. PSG then see the bar here. I am not a confusion about. But Arsenal then saw the tare na nye why, and they will still cope. And that is why I think the favorites to win tonight's encounter will definitely be Arsenal. Akoye 2-1, 2-0 beer. Do not be surprised because Arsenal will not lose at home. Maybe a second leg need different.
Okay.
But in the first leg, Arsenal will not lose at home. It will be one of the biggest surprises. They will not lose at home. They will find a way to beat Paris Saint-Germain.
Me say I want 2-1.
Well, 2-0.
Yes, it's not 2 or no. I say
Me say 2-1 or 2-0.
And the cash out with Baltimore.
Because okay, that is what we all feel. Because Arsenal Nankas also prior to even the Madrid game, now Arsenal and Bo game are short on my face crano and drew even X in rule 1 and pool. Like it is difficult to even create
almost sharing.
Aha. You know, because PSG crowd share one now. This will be individual brilliance.
They themselves, no. Oh, Mickey Casado say. Arsenal jitum say omuni offensive power sa
that be
omojitum say ya jatum ye ni number 9 ye de nchenchen for Bobby ma e fa ne ba be dru ha
but ye chire na dey
but ye chire no dey e difficult
Sintawiya
and masalu so mo best midfielder
They are sending me about way. They are sending Shadrach about Kalaifi Banabia Bayern for man in the Champions League. So the two albums were Matro, minister, club owner, TV rights holder, UEFA ESCO member, and ECA chairman, all in one. Le fou c'est moi. There's a football na yo dia. Le fou c'est moi. Le fou c'est moi. Football na yo dia.
but I dey ready MC Krum ha ko FA Krum in sim free from one dey charge na ba sa bro for say charge man away ko tare baba ya man away stadium
le fou
c'est moi.
c'est
moi dia. Adai.
c'est no you mistake an go say le fou
C'est moi.
but yo o say Pope o ma keka Pope won sem bi o say Pope ba ko bia na English
it is not the case.
Sound common in the
case.
And Pope offers
Pope be away. Real Madrid won the Champions League. There were Pope be away. AC Milan won the Champions League. So that English club narrative, it is not entirely.
What's your